Well, hi there, everybody. This is Ron Arnold for Charter Main Street, and the program is Let's Talk About It. I've got a special guest today, and you talk about a different slice of life. Kevin Tankersley, I think folks that hear your story will going to say, this young man is really something. Isn't he amazing what he's done? Because we're going to talk about wrestling, we're going to talk about the ministry, and we're going to talk about an amazing weight loss, all on this version of Let's Talk About It. Well, Kevin Tankersley, let me shake your hand. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Thank you for coming in today. But let's start out with when you were about 18 years old, folks around Whitfield County that keep up with wrestling, and a lot of folks do, probably knew you as the Tank. You were pretty large, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a pretty big boy.
Where were you wrestling?
I started out at RCW in Chatsworth, and then I wrestled a few times at TWA over here in Dalton.
They had another name for you from time to time. Jason Starfish.
Yeah.
Now, where did that name come from? How'd that come about?
It was a name that I'd come up with as a kid, and I wanted a new gimmick, a new look to myself, and this was after I'd been out for several months, and I'd come back and changed my name and changed my whole look and changed everything about me.
When you were wrestling, Jason, did you get to play the bad guy or the good guy most of the time?
Well, when I was Tank, I was the bad guy, but when I was Jason Starfish, I was the baby face or the good guy.
Okay. Did you have a lot of fun?
Yeah, I had a great time.
You had to be in pretty good shape to wrestle, but you were large at that time.
Right.
You were a large young man. This is at age 18. Kevin is in his 20s now. And then later as you evolved, you had something else happen in your life. You've always gone to church, always been active in church. What church do you attend now?
Lakeview Baptist Church in Chatsworth, Georgia.
Okay, and you're from Chatsworth.
Yeah.
We're talking to Kevin Tankersley on Let's Talk About It. He's got an amazing story. We just introduced Kevin and told you that he was involved in wrestling around Whitfield County and the area when he was about 18, 19 years old in that time period.
Yeah.
You had a lot of fun. He had a large body. In fact, they called him the Tank at one time. You'll see some of those before pictures in a moment that we'll be showing. They called him the Tank. And you felt pretty good at that time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Being that age, you had to be in good shape. Did you throw each other around quite a bit as a wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay. And then later in life, and we're going back to your church life, you told me you were called to the ministry.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, it actually happened around the same time I was wrestling. I was about 17, 18, and I announced my calling to preach and went from there. Eventually became a teenage boys Sunday school teacher at my local church, and went traveling and getting different appointments to preach and to teach, and also singing appointments at that.
We're talking to Kevin Tankersley from Chatsworth, Georgia on Let's Talk About It. We've just talked about his wrestling career and the beginning of his ministry. And Kevin, we'll be back with more after this.
What do you think? How do you feel about things? What are your solutions?
Well, hi there, everybody. This is Ron Arnold for Charter Main Street, and the program is Let's Talk About It.
Watch Let's Talk About It. See and hear real topics of interest. Listen to real opinions. Express your own opinion. Ron Arnold will invite people on to talk about almost anything.
Join me daily at Charter Main Street. Hear special guests, learn their opinion. Let's talk about it. Kevin Tankersley from Chatsworth, Georgia is our special guest today on Let's Talk About It. We talked about him as a wrestler and then getting into the ministry as a young man. And do you still have a Sunday school class that you're teaching now, Kevin?
Yes, I still teach Sunday school.
And you're still preaching at various churches from time to time?
Yes, sir.
Now, how many young people in your class, if this is a fair question, feel like they're overweight? A few, would you say
yeah,
a few?
probably a few.
You know, most of us do. I've always had somewhat of a weight problem. I'm seeing some other hands go up back there, and I'm seeing some people kind of dodge the TV set when weight is mentioned, you know.
Yeah.
And if you ever offer to weigh somebody in public, they'll almost always turn you down unless they've been on a weight loss program. But you had something happen. You went to Atlanta to an autograph session. Who was there?
Diamond Dallas Page.
Diamond Dallas Page, a wrestler.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about him.
He came to fame in WCW, and he got hurt at a early part of his career, and the doctor said it was over, and he hurt his neck, and he eventually started working in yoga and stuff, and he eventually became a 3-time world champion after coming back from that neck where the doctor said he'd never...
They'd given up on him in the beginning when he had
Yeah.
that neck injury.
Right.
And he came back and won 3 world champions, was that?
Mm-hmm.
And so you were there for an autograph session.
Yeah.
And you discovered something else. Tell folks what you discovered there while you were with Diamond Dallas Page.
He had, since wrestling, he had started a workout program called YRG, which consisted of yoga, Pilates, mixed martial arts, dynamic resistance, and he had showed a video of a veteran who had been disabled for 15 years that did the program, and within 6 months he had lost 100 pounds and not only was walking without canes, but was also running.
So when you saw that, what did you think?
Seeing that, I've seen a lot of infomercials on workout programs, and I've been to gyms, and I've normally brushed them off, but seeing that, I noticed by looking at that it was the real deal. But that same day I also brushed that off, went outside, won an autographed action figure from him that said do YRG or else. A month prior to that I'd prayed to God about my health was getting bad, and seeing that figure I took it as a sign from God that I needed to do this program.
So you bought into this program, YRG,
Yeah.
with Diamond Dallas Page.
Right.
Now, how heavy were you at that time? Do you remember?
At the autograph signing I was 305 pounds.
Okay, and we've got some before pictures here you'll see during this program. So you're 305 pounds. You'd been called the Tank in your wrestling career. You meet Diamond Dallas Page. You'd prayed to God that you could have an improvement in your health. And you get what you figure is a sign that you need to do something. And here it's been put out right in front of you, so to speak, by you seeing this video.
Yeah.
How hard was it then, after you bought it, to get seriously started with it? I'm assuming this is a home workout. Is this a home workout?
Yeah, you do it at home.
Okay. So how hard was it after you bought the program to be serious about it, to get started? You weighed 305 pounds. That's a lot of weight. And most of us that have been heavier know how hard it is to do something like that. Did it take you long to get started?
No, I started on day one.
So then you didn't wear off. You got started then. We're going to hear the rest of the story when we come back. Welcome to your world of art. Joanne Antonelli is our guest. Today we're spotlighting an artist from Tunnel Hill, Georgia. Our guest today is Mia Bergeron. Mia, we're glad to have you with us.
Glad as well, thank you.
World-class photographer Rick Lucas is our first photographer to be featured on your world of art. Elizabeth, we're glad to have you with
Good
us.
to have me here. Thank you.
This is exciting. This is your work.
This is my work.
Kevin Tankersley is our guest on Let's Talk About It. We've covered him being a wrestler. We've covered him receiving a call to preach, going to an autograph session in Atlanta for a wrestler, Diamond Dallas Page, and discovering that this was his time, in his mind, to start his weight loss. You weighed what, 305 pounds?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got started with the program, and I'll hold up a couple of the guides that you brought. You had some DVDs, you had this book. Was the exercise tough in the beginning?
Yes, it was pretty tough at the beginning.
How long did you exercise at a time?
It was about 20 minutes, 3 times a week at the beginning, and it gradually progressed to 5 to 6 times a week.
Did you start out changing your diet, what
Yeah.
you're eating, and the
Yeah.
amounts?
Started out, I cut out all fast food, all soda, all kinds of sugar, natural sugar, anything that was processed food, wheat, gluten, and dairy I cut out.
Did you get hungry in the beginning?
By eating the food I was eating, it filled me up. It made me feel like I just went to an all-you-can-eat buffet and ate 3 or 4 plates.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great story to tell. But the end result is, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been dieting with this particular program that's working for you?
4 months.
4 months. Now, I want you to share with folks, and I asked him in advance, if he would share some things like weight loss, waist size, some measurements to give you an idea of what this miracle has been in Kevin Tankersley's life. Yeah. Kevin, let's talk about weight loss. How much weight did you lose in 4 months?
107 pounds.
Wow. That's like a full person in some cases, right?
Yeah.
107 pounds in 4 months. You felt good all this time.
Yeah.
Felt like you're getting enough to eat.
Yeah.
How did your waist size go?
I went from a 54 inches in my waist to a 39 inch in my waist.
Wow. Did you hear that from what now?
54 to a 39.
Okay. Any other measurements?
My chest went from a 51 to a 42. Hips went from a 50 to a 41. My thighs went from a 29 to a 24. And my bicep went from a 16 to 13 inches and a quarter.
Okay. We've shown the before pictures. Would you just stand up? Just stand up and show folks at home what the new Kevin Tankersley looks like. How's your energy level, Kevin?
I've got a lot of energy. I'm participating in the half marathon Saturday and ready to go with that.
Wow. Now you've got a book here that you track your progress in. And that's where some of these figures came from. Do you have future goals in weight loss? Are you trying to lose some more?
My main goal is to get to 180, and from there I might try to get to my ideal weight, which is 163.
Can folks contact you and ask you questions about this plan and what's worked for you if they want to know more about it?
Yes.
How can they do that?
You can email me at kev_in_t@yahoo.com or call me at 706-218-4433.
Kevin, thank you so much for being with us on the program. Let's talk about it. Kevin is from Chatsworth, Georgia. He's a young minister and is open to speaking engagements and telling you more about living a healthy lifestyle. We're not trying to sell a plan. This is just one that Kevin has used that's worked for him. Yeah. Well, Kevin, you've been a guest today on Charter Main Street, and the program has been Let's Talk About It.